Hi Leos, and welcome to your March 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign in the month of March. Let's see what is coming up for you all. I've been meditating on your energy for quite a bit of time today. It's been a really busy day. And I'm feeling that your energy is basically becoming a lot busier and trying to accomplish maybe even a bit more than it can handle, but it ultimately really shows you what needs to stay and what doesn't in your life. Basically, the things that you're getting done easily enough are the things that need to remain, and the things that are a little bit of a struggle or come at the last minute might be a bit old or outworn. So especially for you Leonine people who are close to the Cancer cusp, or you have a lot of Cancer in your chart, this is a very influential month that will show you whether or not you're really focusing on your life and your purpose, or whether you're kind of sidelining yourself in the name of security. What I'm feeling is that there can be a lot of catalyst moments for any Leo people who are really sidelining themselves or not facing their purpose head on. We've had this huge Aquarian season that passed in February, which would have really put you right into a direct contact with a lot of options, a lot of doors that you could go into, but that analysis paralysis does come in really easily in those moments. And I feel that quite a few Leos are still kind of holding off and still kind of being well, I have to decide a little bit more. I have to think a little bit about, which one of these doors I want to go through. And you might kind of try to go through all of them, and that's not wrong, that's not bad, but it is tiring. So I want to really prepare you for March that you need to really be prepared to maybe slot out times for rest, to make progress with your routine, to, things like that. And you've got the Death card and the Devil coming up, and the Star as major arcana cards. That combination is very much about the death of old addictions and the flourishing of new levels of vitality and health. So old addictions really cannot be present in order for you to be able to make the right decisions of which doors to walk through. And at the same time, you have to be careful about holding on to previous structures or forcing yourself to do all of these old things that you've been working on, while also a new full-time job or a new full-time study or something, trying to force yourself to do everything and to not, overcome or level up or have evolution is tough, because you're called to evolve right now. You're called to take some of your output to the next level. And that might not really click until a burnout or until some type of catalyst just makes it so. Speaking of burnout, you're solving that this month, it looks like, if you've been struggling with that at all. Just pay attention to what makes you overheat, whether it's emotionally or physically, even tasks that you do that cause you to have a hot flash or cause you to feel angry. That's a really good sign that it's outworn, or that it's not really a part of your current momentum, and that it might need an evolution. It doesn't mean that you have to stop things that are like that. In fact, I'm taking off my jacket because the energy is really warm. The energy is very hot for you. Your fire is reigniting this month after having so many months of the, cold, barren earth energy last year. The Aquarius energy has given the air to reignite your fire element. So be prepared for that. That could, in a way, that can be life-saving, but it can also be, it can lead to frustration, anger, impulsivity, things like that too. Ultimately, I think you're going to come through the month of March with a lot more trust in something greater, or a lot more trust in the magnitude of your capability as a person. And that's really the best way that I can put it. I actually feel that Leo started to falter a little bit on what they thought they could accomplish or what they thought they could be. And that's tough for a Leo, because your sign is all about the expansion of self, the expansion of purpose, the expansion of desire. So when you get a constrictive, limiting mindset about, okay, I can only do this one career, I can only focus here because it's worked and it's generating security, that becomes really harsh for Leo experiences. So try to broaden your focuses this month. That will also help. And as you broaden them, don't be afraid to refine the more fine-tuned aspects of the focus and maybe constrict or limit that so that you can have a broader overall output. Let's talk about the week to week, Leos. Week number 1, you've got the 8 of Pentacles rooted down by 4 of Cups. You've got to just face it yourself in the first week. Watch out for input from other people. Other people could lead you to do a lot more of what you were just getting out of. Like, oh, do the safe thing, do the secure thing, do the typical appropriate thing, because you've done so well in that territory. And when people do well, that means it's what they do forever, like that type of thing. And only you can see what's going into your output. Only you're the only one in 8 of Pentacles, kind of putting in a lot of effort to create what you're creating. And you're the only one who has to recover from that. So really pay attention to that process and see if it's something that you want to hang on to or if you want to refine it a bit. It's refinement in the first week of your purpose, refinement of your goals, refinement of your business, refinement of your relationships, and understanding at a self level why that's happening, and planning and strategizing how to make that right and do that well. And the second week initiates a change. Knight of Swords rooted down by death. So a change in the speed of your progress. You can have a sudden progress in the second week of March, a sudden revelation. The Swords is about logistics and communication and mental processes. So a sudden revelation, like, whoa, it finally clicks. I finally get it. I finally understand, the structure that I want to take on for my life. But there's something a little bit sad as well. I will prepare you. There's something that's like, wow, I got so much from this last chapter and from the people in this last chapter, but I now realize that I can't have what I had with them before and, fly off into my next new purpose. Like, you can't, this is a tender point, but you can't always have the previous in the new place, otherwise it wouldn't be new, right? So I feel like Leo all last year and very recent is like, I need something new. I need something new. I need a new breath of fresh air. Well, what does new mean? New means that the old becomes old by it no longer existing or no longer having relevance in your path. So again, especially you Cancer Leonine people who have nostalgia or sentimentality, that's where it can be hard, like to on one hand yearn for something new, yet also not release or let go of the previous, therefore blocking anything new. Excuse me, Leos, my voice started to go away as I was talking about that. So it shows to me that it's hard for you to talk about this, or it's hard maybe to vocalize that dichotomy. Okay, and week number 3, you have the 3 of Cups rooted down by Ace of Pentacles. I like it when the number of the card lines up with the week. So you're doing something right. You're figuring something out. You're kind of just getting out of doldrums or getting out of like a emotional black cloud. And you're ready to celebrate and to initiate these new changes. Third week of March is a very blessed time. It's the astrological new year. It's the changing to Aries season, which is a much more harmonious energy for you than Pisces. So you're celebrating it. It feels like you're optimistic. You're having a good time. You're feeling warmer. The sun's coming out maybe. And you're given something. You receive a gift, or you receive a new source of value in your life with Ace of Pentacles, valuable relationships, feeling grounded in your friendships is possible. New friendships, Ace of Pentacles and 3 of Cups together, new friendships, new nice connecting points with other people. It's beautiful. Fourth week, you have the Devil rooted down by the Star. It is clear what does and does not work by the 4th week of March, and your body has to maybe come into a different type of alignment. So I'm seeing that a lot of you are maybe doing new diet plans, overcoming old eating patterns even that were not good. It's something about food and about digestion and about health through gut health. The Star is about most types of health, but that's just what was coming up for you specifically. So I could see that some of you are maybe just maybe having some help, even like accountability partners or dietitians or something. There's something about the food and food sources coming up for you. I feel actually many Leos to be a bit malnourished, perhaps after the previous year. The Capricorn energy is a negative angle to Leo, and it creates a lot of issues with absorption and with not even just physically, but like, absorbing morals, absorbing clarity, like is kind of a null for you, but that's not the case anymore. So this sudden realization that you have in the second week leads you to start making healthier choices in the fourth week, and certainly choosing, is this going to be healthy or is it not going to be healthy? I do see crossroads a lot with the devil and the star. It's like, which way do we want to take this? They're actually very similar in symbolism. If you notice, the two water containers are like the two people in the devil card, and then the central figure of the woman versus the devil. It's the very similar symbolism that's mirrored a lot in the tarot. And all of those cards that have that symbolism deal with crossroads, and they deal with dual purpose and connecting points and what leads to what, formulaic mentalities, goal orientations, health, because all of these things rely on duality. All of these things that we think about, like health, finances, relationships, progress, goals, they all rely on duality, because in order to accomplish this goal, I have to do that. Therefore, two components spiritually come into our life and work together via a connecting point to create a result or a shift in reality. So that is the combinative energy for you in the fourth week. And, what do you want to piece together? What two components do you want to piece together spiritually? Is it going to be this degree plan, this job, those two things together? Is it going to be like a relationship and a health focus, like these two things together, or any combination really? It doesn't even have to just be two things, but you've got to understand and stop being too singularly focused. This is where people mess up a lot, and this is getting super philosophical. Where people mess up a lot is they get very attached to a singular purpose, like, okay, this one goal or this one relationship or this one, physique. And they bypass the energy of fertility. Therefore, they cannot yield any result. It's a barren result. It takes two to procreate, for example. It's like some of the laws, I guess, of this plane. It takes two. So this is a great little esoteric piece of wisdom for you right here, Leo, that I'll spill the esoteric tea for you right here. If you ever want to accomplish something, add something to it, okay? Add something to your experience aside from it, and let the two things connect, and it will create a result. But you've got to be very finite and clear on what result that's creating, and try to not hide that from yourself. Sometimes we can get a little bit crazy with that. Even without that knowledge, people will combine together really crazy things, But nonetheless, it leads to results. And the result that you get from the fourth week should be very positive if one of the combining connective points is not an addiction, okay? The devil is about addictions. So try to, and some of you have probably already had this by now, but like the sacrifice of an addiction is a big part of authentic progress for people this year. That will be helpful. Try to have your willpower strong in the fourth week to just move past previous unhealthy coping mechanisms, which can become addictive as well. And you're really preparing an Aries season to get golden with things, okay? You're really preparing to get fiery and to increase your desire a lot, which is saying a lot for you, because I feel you at the beginning of this month to be full of desire and full of new wants, but it changes. It becomes more finite and refined, the sense of desire, which is going to be a beautiful experience for you, along with possibly getting a gift or getting, more value than you expected, more prosperity, having quicker progress than you anticipated, being able to get things done that used to take a long time much more quickly. You're much more refined just in your output, and that's really beautiful to see for you. And try to just look with encouragement to the future, more optimism. Do watch out for pessimism. It's a struggle for all of the fire signs this year, if that is a dominant lens of worldview, okay? Because fire signs are not always optimistic, but they are on the optimistic side of life lens, I'll call it. Whereas the water signs can tend to be quite pessimistic, as well as the air signs, and then the earth and fire can tend to be quite optimistic, but it depends. Anyway, Leos, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I've so enjoyed talking about it to you. Very analytical, very logistically based. I'm going to do an extended on Patreon. I hope you guys will check it out. I love the Patreon page. It's really enjoy putting together weekly forecasts for you all over there. So check that out if you haven't yet. And we'll do an extended reading for Leo. Central theme, 2 supporting themes, and you get all the other readings as well. Early, ad-free, and extended. Much love, Leos. I will talk to you soon. Bye.